Hi, my fellow droogs. Jakey Steve here, the long-haired frigadude. Today I'm reviewing the ancient Grecian play Alcestis by Euripides, translated into English prose by Edward P. Coleridge. Euripides is often labeled the king of tragedy, and it definitely shows in this play. There's just woe everywhere. The walls are dripping with liquid sorrow. It's just like just oozing out of the cracks. Sort of like the last episode of The Walking Dead. His description and imagery of these motions is simply incredible. But despite all of this, the play actually ends on a happy note. So one time Apollo helped this king named Admetus cheat death. Probably not too different than how Bill and Ted cheated death. Death needs to take his due, and always come to take King Admetus's titular wife, Alcestis. Apollo wants to save her as well, but eventually death wins, and he takes Alcestis. Now, I thought this was a very interesting thing for a Greek play, because we have a personified death. Death is actually a character. I suppose it could be Thanatos from Greek mythology, but if it is, he's never actually mentioned by name. At least, not in this translation. But I imagine that's who death in this play is supposed to represent, Thanatos. On that note, there was another curious translation. The almighty lord of the underworld was referred to both as Hades and Pluto, his Greek and Roman name. It's not uncommon at all for a Greek work to be translated with Roman names. But to have both in the same translation? Oh, that was bizarre. And confusing. Why would you do that to a person? Why? So after she dies, we then enter the second part of the play where Heracles comes to visit Admetus. Heracles recognizes that he's obviously sad about something. Admetus doesn't want to reveal his woe, but Heracles keeps pressing, and eventually a maid snaps and tells him that King Admetus' wife, Alcestis, has just died. Feeling ashamed for delving into the matter, he, being the son of Zeus, decides that he's gonna go and beat up Death and retrieve Admetus' wife. I mean, he's kind of a jerk in presenting Alcestis back to Admetus. He plays a sort of joke, a game in returning her. Just kind of twisted. But I suppose he brought her back from the dead nonetheless, so if he finds consultation in pulling a prank like that, I suppose he has every right to do so. Admetus wasn't furious about this at all. He was just happy that his wife was still alive. No one dies, which is very interesting for a tragedy. A very happy tragedy. But tragedy isn't necessarily about death or woes in the end. It's about feeling woe and sorrow in general. And woe and sorrow was felt, especially in the middle of the play. In addition to that, there were many powerful quotes in this play. As I read through them, feel free to share your own thoughts in the comments section below. If thou die, I can no longer live. Absolute devotion to his wife. No year-long mourning will I keep for thee, but all my life through. He will never get over the death of his wife. It will always, always eat away at his heart. Loss of a truly loved one is permanent. My cup of woe. I don't know. I just feel like that was a powerful line. So much sorrow that it's become a physical, tangible thing. It quite literally can drip from the walls if it's so desired. Something that could be drunk, consumed, absorbed into the body. Just thinking about it fills me with woe. So there's also this kind of sad scene between King Admetus and his father. And there's some real harsh words slung between the two, calling each other cowards and such. He asks for help in his old years, to which his son Admetus replies, Go then, get other sons to tend your closing hast. Prepare thy body for the grave and lay out thy corpse. Any time a son tells his father to go die is just horrible. It's sad. I think that was probably the most tragic parts in this play for me. I could never imagine doing that. And not to mention, he's kind of a jerkface anyway. Whenever Death came by to collect his due, he first wanted to have Death kill his father instead of his wife, but his father wouldn't own up to it. I mean, should fathers die before their sons? Yeah, but should the sons, progress that? No, not at all. Anyways, one more quote. Time! You use that word as if death and time are one. It's an interesting thought. Are death and time one? One surely follows the other. One leads to another. So they may be symbiotic, but I don't think they're the same. For life happens within time, not as a result of time. I would argue perhaps that life and time are one, and death and the passing of time are one. Perhaps. Well, I'm Jakey Steve, the long-haired frigadude. Thank you for watching this book review. If you want to see more great book reviews, cooking tutorials, or headbanging to classical music, then might I suggest checking out my channel and hitting the subscribe button down below. If you want to see more reviews of works such as this, then might I suggest checking out the Great Books Challenge. I'm sure it's something that you would love to do. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to direct those in the comment section below. Be as vulgar as you like, and feel free to start a discussion. It is free speech down there after all. I'm JQ Steve. Thank you all for watching. See you in the next video. Have a good day.